Call the meeting of the Moberly City Council to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Jeffrey.
Present.
Brubaker.
Here.
Kimmons.
Here.
Davis.
Here.
Kaiser.
Here.
Thank you. Looking at the agenda for this evening, are there any corrections to the agenda? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Minutes from the last meeting in the packet. Any corrections or additions to the minutes of the last meeting? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on, public hearing, receipt of bids. Number 2, receipt of bid for the 2022 street improvement restorative CRF and reclamite. Any comments, Mr. Sanders?
This is just our annual work where we bid estimated quantities and we got unit prices in and we have a cooperative agreement. So that's why we bid it early. This year we'll be doing our overlay and other work out for bid here in the next week or so.
This was an item in the last work session, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Questions, anyone? Is there a motion to accept the receipt of the bid?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to number 3, receipt of bids for a Kubota UTV.
This is where we have it budgeted. We have it split between the street department and the cemetery. The low pricing was through the Sourcewell state contract. I think $18,522, I believe, was the low bid. That's with full cab and everything, so we can use it with a plow and stuff in the winter, hard doors.
All right, questions, anyone?
One quick
Mr.
question.
Kaiser.
Did this include a blade or anything to help with the sidewalk on Moberly Street? I know at one time you had were concerned about having a blade the right size. I didn't know if this.
The blade that there's Moberly Street pinches down to 4 feet in places,
Yep.
and even the grasshopper that we have with the snow blower won't fit down through there. And as you saw this year, when you had the deep snows, people clean the driveways out, and there's mounds that high, you'd have to have a skid loader to try to dig it out through there.
Okay.
So
you're not planning to use this?
we
for-
are planning on using this for snow plowing, but not on Moberly specifically. So
Fair
we
enough.
have a V plow in the work session that goes
Okay.
on that.
Okay, fair enough.
Anyone else? Is there a motion to accept the bid?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving number 4, receipt of bids for a VFD system at Howard Hills Athletic Complex.
So as noted during work session, this will put us in better position, not only in terms of some potential safety issues, but especially maintenance on the equipment and wear and tear on the lines. So we're planning to budget for. We are budgeting for this in the upcoming budget year, pending Park Board and Council approval. So it'll be next year's budget, and we're also seeking an Ameren rebate, which the Ameren rebate will only amount to about $4,000, but we're pursuing that to help offset those costs.
Thank you. Questions for Mr. Bach? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Posted and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Bid is received. The next item on the agenda is the consent agenda, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Is there any questions in regards to any of the items on the consent agenda? Well, I guess I have one. It would be in regards to number 6 on the proposal for contracting with All Clear Plumbing. I thought we were putting in new sewer lines downtown and all that. Why would we do this if we're going to replace all that? Or is that, am I thinking of two different things?
No, that's correct.
This is for the cleaning and televising of the project in preparation for the downtown sewer rehab, which is one of our EDA projects.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Does anyone have a problem with the consent agenda? All right. Is there a motion for the reading of the consent agenda?
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
Been motioned and seconded. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? First and only reading.
Resolution number R1220, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute an on-call engineering services agreement with Barr Engineering Company for minor tasks not related to contracted for services. Resolution 1221, a resolution accepting the proposal and authorizing contracting with All Clear Plumbing and Sewer for CCTV inspection of sewer lines in downtown Moberly. Resolution 1222, a resolution accepting the bid of Bernardo Luciano, DBA Central Turf and Irrigation Supply, and authorizing the purchase of a VFD pump station for Howard Hills Athletic Complex. And Resolution 1223, a resolution accepting bids and authorizing contracting for the 2022 street improvement CRF and Reclamite projects.
All right, you've heard the reading of the resolutions. Any further discussion? Hearing none, is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The resolutions are passed. Moving on to ordinances, number 9, an ordinance.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I have an ordinance vacating the alley between 24 Urbandale Street and 28 Urbandale Street. Asked to be considered, read for consideration.
All right, you've heard the motion for the reading of the ordinance. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? First reading.
An ordinance vacating the alley between 24 Urbandale Street and 28 Urbandale Street in the city of Moberly, Missouri.
All right, you've heard the reading of the ordinance. Any questions? Hearing none, second reading.
An ordinance vacating the alley between 24 Urbandale Street and 28 Urbandale Street in the city of Moberly, Missouri.
All right, you've heard the second reading of the ordinance. Any further discussion? Hearing none, is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Roll call, please.
Jeffrey?
Yes.
Brubaker?
Yes.
Kimmons?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Kaiser?
Yes.
Okay, the motion carries. The ordinance is passed. Moving on to number 10, a resolution.
Mr. Mayor, I have a resolution authorizing participation in the Missouri Highway Safety Program and a grant application for DWI enforcement. Ask for it to be read for passage.
All right, there's a motion for the reading of the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All in favor signify by aye. Aye. Any opposed? First and only reading.
A resolution authorizing participation in the Missouri Highway Safety Program and a grant application for DWI enforcement.
All right, you've heard the reading of the resolution. Is there any further discussion?
I have a question for
Mr. Davis.
This is for Troy. Troy, it listed on there that Moberly was like 12th in one category and 10th in one category. Do you happen to know how many cities in Missouri they were comparing us to?
No, I don't.
It would be quite a bit, wouldn't it? I mean, yeah.
As part of the grant process, and that's a statewide grant for MoDOT,
Right.
the Traffic Safety Division.
Yeah, I just, when it was listing us and so, the categories, and I don't have it pulled up in front of me, but it just, I was wondering if we were 50th out of 5,000 cities or something like that. So, okay, that's all. I was just curious about it. So, thanks.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Resolution passes. Moving on to number 11, a resolution.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I have a resolution ratifying the execution of state revolving fund loan applications by the city staff for 2022. I ask that it be read once for consideration of passage.
All right, you've heard the motion for the reading of the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? First and only reading.
A resolution ratifying the execution of state revolving fund loan applications by city staff for 2022.
All right, you've heard the reading of the resolution. Any further discussion? Hearing none, is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to number 12, resolution.
Mr. Mayor, I have a resolution authorizing and accepting a second change order to the energy performance contract with Energy Solutions Professionals LLC for pavilion construction and solar arrays, and I ask to be read once for consideration.
All right, for the reading of, or the motion for the reading of the resolution, is there a second?
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Any opposed? First and only reading.
A resolution authorizing and accepting a second change order to the energy performance contract with Energy Solutions Professionals LLC for pavilion construction and solar arrays.
All right, you've heard the reading of the resolution. Any further discussion? Hearing none, is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Resolution passes. Moving on to number 13, a resolution.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I have a resolution accepting permanent sewer easements from various owners for the Route JJ Regional Sewer Project. Asked to be read for consideration.
All right, there's a motion for the reading of the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
Been motioned and seconded. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? First and only reading.
A resolution accepting permanent sewer easements from various owners for the Route JJ Regional Sewer Project.
All right, further reading of the resolution. Any further discussion? Mr. Davis?
Yeah, Dana, I saw on the resolution that, am I correct? Is this just a 4-inch sewer pipe we're going to put in? Or is-
That is correct. The force main is 4 inches. It's pumped, so it doesn't have to be as large as a gravity pump.
And that will handle all the sewage along
It's
20?
anticipated to handle every potential connection along the route.
And if we add everybody that lives along that route, I know we're not anticipating that at this time, will it still handle, the 4-inch will be sufficient?
Barring any significant development along the route, it'll handle everything that currently exists. I mean, barring some major industrial user that were to route, but that would be a whole separate question in the future.
Okay, I'm just,
Anyone else? All right, hearing none, is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
And a second.
second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Resolution passes. Moving on to number 14, a resolution.
Mr. Mayor, I have a resolution authorizing the city manager to purchase a Kubota UTV for the Oakland Cemetery and Street Department. Ask for it to be read for passage.
All right, there's a motion for the reading of the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye.
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 Let's do it again. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? First and only reading.
A resolution authorizing the city manager to purchase a Kubota UTV for the Oakland Cemetery and Street Department.
All right, you've heard the reading of the resolution. Any discussion? I guess I would have one. Does it state in the description, is it orange or is that going to be camo?
I'm pretty sure it's orange.
All right, so there's no temptation then, right? All right. Anyone else? Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Resolution passes. Moving on to number 15, a resolution appropriating money out of the treasury of the city of Moberly.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I have a resolution appropriating money out of the treasury of the city of Moberly, Missouri, and I ask that it be read once for consideration of passage.
All right, you've heard the motion for the reading of the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? First and only reading.
A resolution appropriating money out of the treasury of the city of Moberly, Missouri in the amount of $384,347.34.
I hereby certify that there's sufficient money standing to the credit of the city of Moberly, Missouri, and are appropriated in the several funds covered by this resolution to meet the requirements of this resolution. Submitted Gregory L. Hodge, City Treasurer, City of Moberly. Any further discussion? Hearing none, is there a motion for approval?
So move.
And a second.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, that brings us to anything or anyone to come in front of the council. If you have an issue, you can bring your card up and address council. All right, well, hearing none, then I would entertain a motion to adjourn to work session followed by a closed session. Is there a
So
motion
moved.
to that effect? Motion by Mr. Kaiser, is there a second?
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Roll call, please.
Jeffrey?
Yes.
Brubaker?
Yes.
Kimmons?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Kaiser?
Yes.
All right. So motion carries and we are adjourned from the regular session. And we will take up the agenda for the work session and call the work session to order. And first item on the agenda is appointment to the Tourism Advisory Commission.
Yes, Mayor, we received a request from the chamber to appoint Candace Rodman for their position. Tim Seidel was the current member of the Tourism Commission from the chamber, and the vice president, Candace Rodman, is the requested person to be appointed now. And then Julie Sharp did resign last month, and we do have one application on file with Ryan Blackwell, so we would request that those two requests move forward.
Okay. Questions about the tourism candidates? All right. If there's not anyone opposed to moving that forward, we will move that forward to the next meeting, and we'll move to number 2, a proposal from the Tourism Advisory Commission.
Yes, Mayor, we received a request from the craft fair. Betty Mayo made that request to the Tourism Commission, and after scoring that, they recommend a grant of $500 for marketing.
Questions, anyone? Who would we ask a question of that meeting of the Tourism Commission, Mr. Crane? Who would I direct my question to?
It probably depends on the question.
Okay, well, so in the application, it says, what are the specific measurable tourism benefits your event or capital project produces? The answer says to help bring in vendors and shoppers in town. So my question is, what is the measurable benefit that's answered in that question?
I'd like to respond to that if I could.
All right.
Well, in visiting with Ms. Mayo, I think, and correct me, Michelle, if my memory has gone bad, but we're looking at like 65 vendors. The crowd was in excess of what, 1,500, 2,000 people, something like that, historically. And one of the things that looks better this year than in years past, Michelle has worked with Betty, and the last time they were able to have a full show, she started to track where people were coming from. So you'll notice in our application process that we're able to identify cities and areas that are coming to the show. This show's been going on for 30 some odd years, I think, and it has a defined audience and brings in a pretty good number of people. So for those reasons, I think as you know, I'm a non-voting member on that, but when they the commission looked at it, they felt that it was worthy of the $500 contribution.
All right, Mr. Kimmons, thank you. Well, I guess my next question is, when I look at the application or the scoring, it says quantify expansion of tourism in Moberly, possible points 5. So that particular answer got a score of 5, but there's no number. So I guess that's one question is, how do you get 5 out of 5 and you have no answer, basically? And then under overnight hotel stays, which is really to me, is the purpose of the tourism funding, it says there were three hotel rooms. And so on that score, there's a possible 5, and it got 4 out of 5. So outstanding is qualified as 5 points, excellence 4, good as 3. I'm just not seeing, I'm not opposed to advertising for this, but I'm not seeing that in the, I don't know, I don't see these scores reflecting what the outcome is. So I've been asking for, real numbers for application after application, and I don't see we're getting that. So I don't know who to ask that question of, really. Except that I would say I'm not willing to give a full amount because I don't think the application is complete. So I'm certainly willing to vote for something, but I don't know that that's the amount that's.
Well, I think a lot, Mr. Mayor, if I can speak, I was at that meeting, and there's a lot that's not on the application that was discussed in particulars in the meeting. And so perhaps the fault is that we should alliterate a little more on the application, some of the things that were talked about. As far as the overnight stays, as you well know, there are slim and none chances or choices to find some place to stay here. And what we did find with this particular event is that a number of people stayed either with family or were in a radius that they commuted back and forth to the program. So maybe what I would do for you is at the next meeting, talk about some way to put a narrative together that gives you those numbers.
Thank you. I'd appreciate that. I just think that, as we go forward and we have this actual numbered evaluation score, that the numbers ought to fit the event. And if they don't say what the quantity of people and the tourism is, then that's incomplete. I mean, I'm not a teacher, but I don't think you get a 5 out of 5. And I understand what you're saying as far as the people that come from around here. But if this money is supposed to be spent to have more people stay here and come here as tourism overnight stays, then you can't make the case that that is happening with that. So it isn't a lot of money, but I just wondered what the thoughts were of the committee. So that's my question. So
Councilman Timmons,
Mr. Brubaker? You have a question?
I'm sure your organization would welcome the mayor to attend some of these meetings, wouldn't they?
I would take that under advisement.
Okay, anyone else? Anyone opposed to moving that forward?
No.
All right, it'll move forward to the next meeting then. Moving to number 3, receipt of bids for a V-plow for the Kubota UTV. Who's got it?
Earlier, there we go. As we discussed earlier, this would be an accessory for that. Some of the deeper snows, like the last few events, the UTVs that are narrow enough to fit on the sidewalks won't shove the snow. It starts to push the front end off, and they're not capable of doing it. Parks has one of the V-plows. They work pretty well, so that's what we're hoping that if we have deeper snow events, that'll allow us to clear the trail more efficiently with the UTV.
Where do you presume that you're going to use the V-plow? What part of?
Like South Williams, Route M, Union, Butte, all the trail systems. Now we can't, like we said, Moberly Street. We had to live within the right of way there, so we have utilities and retaining walls and things like that. So there's some spots that are too narrow. Plus the snow was piled 6 feet high along there, so it won't clear that.
Questions, anyone? Anyone opposed to moving that forward? Nope. All right, that'll move forward to the next meeting. Mr. Thompson, is there a way you can have a consent agenda for a work session? This is like the Tom and Jerry show here. All right, we'll go to number.
The purpose of the work session is so each item can be discussed separately.
Okay.
Questions asked.
My
Since
mistake.
I have the next several, I can just kind of run through those quickly if you want me to.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yes.
Proceed.
So these are basically attachments, and we're kind of doing a clearinghouse here, getting with the budget, the things we had lined up. So the dozer blade allows us to, on the skid loader, would allow us to have something that would move heavier loads, and we can use that in other places that are tight to get to with pickups and still push out material, and it also can be used for dirt moving, things like that. The finish blade, or finish mower for the airport, the areas out there are rough, and we have some large areas that's really beating up the mowers. This would allow us to have multiple people out there mowing it on occasion, and also mow some areas that are needing to be maintained and do a better job than what the UT or the zero turn mowers are doing. It just really tears them up in some places. 7-way blade is our goal with that. It says to use the airport, but the goal with that is for the alleys. Right now, our road grader we have, and I haven't seen the budget I've had there to try to find a smaller used grader to grade the alleys, but a 7-way power blade on the back of the tractor will allow us to do a better job of doing some grading in the alleys. Right now, we're having to use the loader bucket and do a lot of back dragging and stuff like that. And then we also have a fixed blade, which is not very efficient when we're doing as many alleys as we have. So that's the goal of that. And then the 2-yard spreader is just we have to change those out on a regular basis, every so often, because the conveyors and other internals get pretty bad on them after a period of time. So it's just like trucks or anything else. Just need to change them out so we're cycling through them.
Okay, that's number 8. So any questions about any of those items? Is anyone opposed to moving that forward? All right, I'll move that forward to the next meeting. Okay, we'll move on to number 9, discussion of a letter agreement with Jacobs Engineering.
This is an addition to their current agreement for the Route JJ project and the other engineering services they provide. And this is actually overdue from December. They apologized, but this is for Jacobs to procure services from Crockett Engineering to write some easements for us to allow us to go and pursue obtaining signatures on those easements.
Okay. Questions, anyone?
I have one.
Mr. Kaiser?
How does this differ? We've got the number 11 on the agenda for another organization to contact people about easements. And are we having 2 groups do this, or what's, because you just mentioned that this includes working on the easements for property owners. Are we having a duplication of effort here, or?
There is no duplication of service, Councilman. The first set from Jacobs and Crockett was for Crockett to research the property owners, given the path of the force main, and to write the actual easements after they verified the correct property owners. The second one you're going to see later is for the legwork to actually go to those 35, I think is how it worked out to be, and make contact with the various property owners where they work on weekends, work at night, live out of state, whatever it is, to do the legwork required to get signatures on them. Okay. We've already obtained a few through our efforts, but we frankly don't have the manpower to go out and do. That's very tedious, and that's where Howe Company, which you're going to see later on the agenda, comes into play.
Okay. So that's my question.
Anyone else? Anyone opposed to moving that forward? All right, so that will move forward to the next meeting, and we'll move on to number 10, receipt of bids for the vehicle diagnostic equipment for the street barn shop.
So you should have a spreadsheet in your council packet that kind of shows a breakdown of that. So the numbers are not really apples to apples. So there are 2 components for Autotech. They have cars and light trucks, and their price on that is $2,398. And then Snap-on's price for that same component is $9,195. Plus, with Snap-on, they have a $749 a year annual renewal or update fee. So then the Autotech system also offers a secondary component for off-road vehicles and heavy trucks, which will maybe catch most of our fire trucks, dump trucks, tractors, and even UTV type vehicles. And that software package is $10,456, which Snap-on doesn't offer. So over 4 years, the prices are $12,854 for the Autotech for the full line of software diagnostics, and Snap-on would be like $12,191 over 4 years, and they don't offer half of the vehicles that the other company does. So I just wanted to make sure that was clear on the comparison, and we've had Autotech come out and demonstrate it, so guys feel like that will be efficient and
All right.
give them a lot more abilities.
All right, thank you. Question, Mr. Davis.
Yeah, Tom, do we have the personnel to fix it? I mean, when you diagnose it, I mean, when most of us take our cars in and we leave it up to the mechanic to diagnose what it is and everything. So if we diagnose it, are we still gonna have to take it to get it fixed
It
in
depends,
most
like,
cases? Or
some of the things like for electronic systems, that are beyond warranty. A lot of times, maybe like shift solenoids or minor things like that. If it's like a big internal, like a transmission or like the head on the fire truck, things like that. We'll still probably go outside to servicing, and also things that are inside of warranty. But we have a lot of equipment still, especially the off-road and heavy truck equipment that's beyond the warranty period. That will be more of an impact for us than probably the things we'll be replacing, like under Enterprise, for example. In the near future, our trucks will all be under warranty once we get cycled through Enterprise, and that component of them won't be as much. I'd say we use it more on police cars, and we have a higher need on, and things like that, little components that we can fix in-house.
do you think that this is cost efficient to get this?
Yeah, otherwise it's like every little check engine light's gonna go to the shop. Because, we're not gonna know what it is unless we have updated equipment.
Okay, so it's under warranty, right?
Some stuff is.
Councilman, so this allows us to diagnose it and decide if it needs to go out for warranty work, specified shop, or if we can handle it inside.
We have, like, for example, 2008 model dump trucks still. Fire trucks are 02, some of the older ones, and right now, if any kind of light comes on those, it's going to be, and I think they're a couple year warranty on those. So, with Enterprise, we'll have our pickups will be new enough, they'll be under warranty, but still a lot of times, you can diagnose what it is. A lot of times, we can take care of things in-house easily.
Okay. All right, I was just questioning whether or not it was cost effective to get it.
And they have, like I said, free updates for 4 years. So that's, we don't have to do this every year. It's like you buy this package and you can even extend it out beyond that with new software updates.
Okay.
Anyone else? Anyone opposed to moving that forward? Hearing no opposition, that will move forward to the next meeting. We'll move on to number 11, a discussion regarding a letter agreement with Howe Company.
This is the agreement with Howe Company we spoke about just a few moments ago. This is the legwork to get the easements. So they're being offered an opportunity to obtain up to 35 easements for us, and that includes contacting the individual landowners and to some extent a little bit verifying that they have the correct property owner before they attempt to acquire the easement, sending out registered letters, and I believe theirs is written for up to 2 site visits in order to either discuss or to obtain the signature for an easement.
Questions about this item? I guess my question would be, is there any way we can get more than one bid on things like this? Because, you're talking about $38,000 for 34 addresses, so over $1,000 average per address, if I'm figuring that right.
Early on in the project, we did, and Jacobs Engineering was able to get us a quote from a third party to do not the legwork, just writing the easements, and it was well in excess of $100,000.
Wow. Okay, so does anyone else have any questions? Anyone opposed to moving that forward? All right, that'll move forward to the next meeting. And we'll move on to number 12, receipt of bids for City Hall HVAC.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, we installed a heating system in City Hall here in 2010. It has an open return system, which means there are no vents. The air just kind of filters up, and what we've realized over the last 12 years is when we have a run of really hot or really cold days, the system just doesn't keep up. And so we put it in the budget last year, really a guess on what it was going to cost, $10,000. This is just a receipt of bids. You can see the local company Smith is well below that other. We put it out to 6 different companies that felt were qualified, and only got these 2 bids back.
All right, thank you. Questions about this item? Is anyone opposed to moving that forward? Hearing no opposition, that will move forward to the next meeting. And we'll move on to number 13, receipt of bids for a 12-foot snowplow.
Should be okay, that. So this is just the 12-foot plow for the tandem axle truck that we had ordered. It's due to be in. We ordered it about a year ago. It's due to be here. It was supposed to be due in December, but we should have it soon. But we're going to try to repair the existing stainless steel spreader we have, but the plow just needs to be replaced. It's too far gone. So it was a used one we bought from MoDOT, and it's way past its time. So that's what this would be for.
So on the earlier ones that we were looking at, equipment, I'm saying ones, you had mentioned in there this as substitute for small road grader and one other piece of equipment. So were those 2 pieces of equipment in the budget for capital improvement? Is that where all this is substituting out of?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we had a small road grader, I think, budgeted for $50,000 that we're not purchasing because we cannot find one, and so we're changing some. That's why we're making some changes. I mean, just the equipment prices have shot up, and then also the used grader that size, and so the different things. 7-way plow is more of a grading for gravel and dirt, things like that. Where this is going to be a front pusher for a truck.
Okay. Questions, anyone? Anyone opposed to moving that forward? Hearing none, that moves forward to the next meeting. Number 14, a discussion regarding engineering scope of services agreement with Pepping Stone Bach and Associates.
This is really an extension of a previous agreement to finish the engineering and design services for sewering a portion of Sparks Avenue. So this will include a portion of gravity line plus a portion of force main and a pump station design as part of an SRF project.
Okay. Do you have any idea when that originally started? It's been 3 or 4 years.
It was when Macrack came to town.
Right.
Yeah.
Questions, anyone? Anyone opposed to moving that forward? All right, hearing no opposition, that'll move forward to the next meeting. We'll move on to number 15.
Let me see, that's a truck, isn't it? Oh, that's the reel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dana, can you do that reel?
I can. This is a sludge reel for the land application site. Their existing one is, what now, almost 14 years old or approaching 14 years old, and has completed its useful life. They're not even sure if it can be prepared in its current condition. It just did make it through last year's land application season. They had an opportunity to replace it through the cycle this time, so they went out and received a proposal from the original equipment company, which is the one that you see from Schmidt Irrigation, for the exact same equipment that they have that they've really liked and that the site is equipped for.
All right. Questions? How long is that reel? How long is the pipe that you do?
I would have to look, I have to remember the quote.
You guys like-
which is not in front of me.
I'm looking.
1,250 feet.
You draw straws for who gets to drag it out there? Or?
No, they haul it over there with a
It's
tractor
mechanical.
and they connect it and then they pull it out
I see.
and open the valves and start the pump, and then it reels itself in, and then they have a timer to know when it finishes, and then they go retrieve it and move it to the next header.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
to answer your question, it's 1,250 feet.
Okay.
on the
Well, it'd be a
road.
good team
Thank
building project, you know. Esprit de corps. Pulling the slurry reel.
I want to be the person that hooks it up and starts it up. I don't want to be the person who cleans it up afterwards.
All right. Questions, anyone? Anyone opposed to moving that forward? All right. Now move forward to the next meeting. We'll move on to number 16, receipt of bids, single axle dump truck.
This was a truck we had budgeted for, and to replace one of our oldest one of our three single axle trucks. As you can see, the bids there we received, the 176,788 was for the Freightliner, which is a little cheaper model than the one what we currently operate, the International series, and it wouldn't be available if we ordered it today until third quarter of 2023. And it would also be subject to potential cost increases like steel or model year changes, things like that. We've just experienced that, I think, a little over almost over $9,000 on the last truck. So we have no guarantee that that will be the price when it was delivered a year and a half from now. So the other option is the truck that you see for $185,991 is International, and it's equipped with a stainless steel bed, which is one of the issues that we deal with is the bed's rusting out on from the salt and the chassis. So it's a little nicer than what we have had, but they have it on hand in stock, and that's so we know that's the price it'll be delivered. We can have it equipped and set up and have it in 90 days, and you know what the price is.
Okay.
That's what staff's recommending.
Questions, anyone? Mr. Davis?
Is it still going to be there by the time we get this approved at the next meeting?
Maybe not. I hope, but
So it's just, excuse me, it's just, we're just hoping that they don't sell it before we can get to it.
correct.
Anyone else? Mr. Crane?
Mayor, if the council so desires, we could authorize him to proceed with the notice that we want it, and we could ratify that decision at next meeting if we're worried about it not being there in a month or 2 weeks.
What's your pleasure?
I think we should.
I'd prefer to get it locked in because, like I said, it's like it's an unknown. If we can, and with things changing, it might be no more than third quarter 2023.
Is that okay?
Yep, I'm okay with it.
I'll
Don't
make a
need to-
motion to that effect.
I'll second it.
It's been motioned and seconded. All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to number 17. Request to have on-street parking on the 600 block of West Rollins.
This was a change. We'd had a request from a resident asking for more parking in that neighborhood. This block is the one that adjoins the junior high. And so I would assume in talking with the police chief and, maybe because of the school pass that it didn't have parking along that block, but it's the same width as other blocks in the street that have on-street parking. So with the future development that we're seeing there, I think the on-street parking would be good, and staff agreed, and we've also met with the developer, and they were in favor of having that as on-street parking in that location.
Questions, anyone? Mr. Davis?
Now, we're talking from Johnson Street to Haygood. You're going
Correct.
to allow parking on the north side.
Yes.
And then, if memory serves me right, and I aim to go by and check it, but I got running late tonight, but we allow parking on the south side from, at some point, to all the way to the college. Is that correct?
Yes. I know that seems like a jump around, but we also have parking on the north side down by on both sides of the street between the church and the Masonic Lodge. So there's parking on the north side there.
Right,
So
down toward the city.
Yeah, and the street kind of jogs a little bit there. And so I don't think it's going to be an issue with the transition because there's a far enough gap between where we would stop that and also where the parking would start. The on-street parking starts on the other side of Bedford,
Tannehill.
Tannehill. The first one, yeah, I think it's Tannehill. So there's a gap there where they're offset. So there's enough gap that you're not going to have a problem with being able to transition, like just go through basically one intersection and have to jump over. And the roads are 38 feet wide, I believe, in there. So it's not going to be pinching it down. The lanes will still be plenty wide. It won't be a problem to transition it.
Okay.
Anyone else?
The other reason for that, if you don't mind, there's driveways solid on the south side.
That's
And
correct.
you wouldn't have to be able to have hardly any parking there. Where if you have it on the north side, there's no driveways to impact, so it could be full parking.
Will there be a sort of a zone there, there at the intersection of Johnson and Rollins?
There's a setback. There's like 15-foot setback from stop signs.
Just 15 foot?
Mm-hmm.
I have a
It
question.
just seems like that's going to be sort of I don't know. just-
I know you're concerned. If you look at right from the Masonic Lodge, the parking is right at the stop sign on both sides of the street.
That's true.
So it sounds like it might be an impact, but traffic speeds aren't there bad enough.
And they're the same width.
Hold on. Mr. Brubaker has
Well,
floor.
I just want a clarification. On the south side, is there parking or not?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Now, you have a question, Mr. Davis?
No, I'm good, thank you.
I guess my question for Mr. Thompson, I don't think I'm in favor of this, so should we move it forward and then when it comes into the vote against it there? Is that the best way?
Yes.
Because I'm not in favor of this, so. I
Unless
think
you
it
would
just
have a-
congests going up to the intersection and the street isn't real straight there. And there's gonna be parking over in the area where the building and the splash pad is. If the junior high, if the senior apartments needs more, they have space to build parking in front. So
This was a request from the citizens that live along that street, though, not the ones who would be able to utilize that.
I can
lot.
just see the congestion there as you come right into downtown. I just don't favor it.
Mr. Mayor, if you had a majority that didn't want to take it to regular session, then wouldn't have to go. If you don't want to deal with that at this meeting, we can put it on the regular agenda and you can vote on it at
What's the
that time.
privilege? I just said what I think, but
I mean, personally, I'd like to go by there and look at it again and,
you
I
wanna
agree.
vote at
I'd
the
like to
next
move
meeting?
it forward. but-
yeah.
and then give us time to look at it. And see.
anyone else? Mr. Kaiser, you have any?
I'll go with everybody on
Okay.
giving a chance. to
All
look
right,
at
so that'll move forward to the next meeting. And we'll move on to number 18, appointment to the Historic Preservation Commission.
Yes, Mayor. Mona Lawrence, term expired in February of 2022. She did send us a note that she would like to not serve again. We do have one application on file with Ashley Apel, and we're asking that that be moved forward.
All right. You can see the candidate that applied. Any questions about that issue? All right, if no one's opposed, then that'll move forward to the next meeting. I guess going back to the item number 1 in regards to the Tourism Commission, Mr. Crane, do we need to vote as a council to change the Tourism Commission back to a monthly meeting unless they don't have business to conduct? I know when Greg Walker was mayor, he had the council vote to go to quarterly. I think that's the way it happened. I'm in favor of it being monthly if there's business.
We can look at that. I think it reads a minimum of quarterly, but we can look. I don't remember the guidelines specifically. I know they do meet quarterly as a minimum.
Well, I know there's been times when some people have talked about applying. They said, well, it's too late because we don't have another meeting for a quarter. But I don't know that would really stop it. But I just think it needs to be consistent being monthly unless there just isn't an agenda to take up because there isn't any application.
We'll look at that
So that
and
we go back to monthly.
we'll report back on that.
All right, thank you. Anything else? Hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
All in favor, signify by aye. Aye. We're adjourned. Thank you all for coming. Yeah.